You know, when I first set foot in this old building, I was just one guy with a big dream and no real idea of what I was getting into. A roof that leaked like a sieve, windows shattered by time and trouble, and a mountain of work that most folks would have taken one look at and walked away from. But somehow, little by little, people started showing up. Some with words of encouragement, some with tools in hand, and some with a lifetime of knowledge they were willing to share. And looking back now, I see it plain as day. Without those mentors, those generous souls, I never would have made it this far. Today is a special day for this project because for the first time, this isn't just my video, it's our video, a channel collaboration. Alex from Midwest Brick Doctor packed up his tools and traveled a really long way to lend his skills, his time, and most importantly, his heart to this place. He didn't just help with the restoration of the building. He taught, he shared, and he gave. This journey has taught me a lot, but maybe the biggest lesson is this. There's a whole lot of good left in the world. And Alex, well, he's a fine example of it. So I hope you'll give him a warm welcome because today, he's part of our larger story. This is part one of his contribution. Let's get to work. Okay, guys, today is so exciting because we're doing the very first YouTube channel collaboration with another channel. And beyond that, the stuff that we're going to be doing today is super important for the renovation, super important for the building. And can't wait to get onto this one. So let me wait till he gets over here. I'm going to introduce you. There you go. All right.
There's been a lot of disrepair of the brick here, and it's been bothering me on these videos, so I'm going to come over here and take care of it, because there's a lot of different stuff. There's bricks that are missing, which I think people are stealing it, but we'll figure it out. We'll get Chris here right, so when I'm not here, he can take care of it himself.
Okay.
You know?
Hey, can you tell me about your channel?
So on my channel, I started it off probably like 3 years ago. When doing so, I wasn't really too serious about it. I was just kind of, dibbling, dabbling. I did see some other concrete channels that I did like. So I figured, why not start my own channel? I started that. After that, then did a couple of videos, a how-to video. The how-to video did pretty good. A lot of people were visiting that. I was getting a bunch of jobs off of that. The only issue that I was running into is I was not able to do all the editing and doing all the work myself. At that point, I was just doing all the work by myself, taking the calls, and also doing the work and then having a family at the same time. Yeah. It's definitely not easy. So
one thing I noticed about your channel is that you don't have a whole lot of videos, but it's a little bit hit and miss, but some of your videos have a lot of views.
So it's a hit and miss. It's a hit and miss. Like my caulking one, which is satisfying to people like that, and then my how-to video. There's a lot of people out there that want to learn, that don't want to pay a contractor, because we are not cheap. I will say that now. But definitely, it's because when I went to look up on how to tuck point videos, there's a lot of people out there that I think that they were not doing it right. One, they're buying materials from Home Depot, like a premix mortar and whatnot. I'm not really fond of that. The texture and the consistency of that is not good. So I figured I put a video out there, and that's kind of how all this started. Once I see that was getting a little bit of traction on YouTube, then I kind of went a little bit further with that. But to be honest, guys, I just gave up. I didn't want to do it anymore. I just gave up. That was it. And I said I wasn't going to do YouTube anymore.
And that's when I found you, yeah?
Right. Yeah. Probably about, how long would you say ago?
It was like just before that video on my channel started trending, so about 4 months ago, 3
months.
So a couple things. First, I was one of those guys buying the stuff from Home Depot.
Yep, there you go.
The other thing is, let's show him some love. So go and check out his channel.
Yeah, so. Midwest Brick Doctor.
Yeah,
Midwest Brick Doctor.
He's a really nice guy, because I'll tell you, people keep recommending me to reach out to this channel and reach out to that channel. And I reached out to several channels, and they don't respond.
For brick repair?
No, just for like
anything,
fixing my fork truck,
right.
And they recommend reaching out to channels, and I don't get any responses. So, yeah. But that was when I had less than 10,000 subscribers.
Right.
And he agreed to do it, and it was before my video went viral. So he looked at my humble little channel that we had for all those years and agreed. So that's pretty awesome. So really excited to show you guys what we're getting into today. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to title this video Brickwork for Dummies or something.
There you go.
For dummy.
There you go. So yeah, we have two different types of sand here. This is called a torpedo sand. It's a lot more aggregate-y. As you can see, there's a bit more rocks. And as you can see here too in the brickwork, some of the pictures Chris was sending me, it's a lot more aggregate-y. And now this one here is just a regular masonry cement that we use in Chicago most of the time. Probably about 90 to 100% of the time we're going to be using this. But when you see older stuff, they have a lot more aggregate. Back in the day, all the materials were different, from the cement to the sand, and possibly even the water. So we'll try a couple different things out. I brought him some buckets of this. So this is going to be solely for tuck pointing. Now the masonry sand, the mason sand, that's going to be for bricklaying. You're never going to want to bricklay with this. This is kind of like gold for you right now, unless you can find something like this nearby.
So one of the projects that are coming up, I don't know if we're going to do that in this video or today or not, but we're cutting some new doors in, and we have some material here for creating lintels for the doors.
Yep. Dude, I don't use mixers. I've tried electric mixers, gas mixers and stuff like that, but for the jobs that I do, as far as like chimney rebuilds and whatnot, I don't really have too much storage as well. So I'm all wheelbarrow and a hoe guy. That's all I am. You know, and I got guys down there, and they're mixing away, and we do 2 bucket batches at a time. So we'll put 2 buckets of sand, and we'll probably do a quarter extra of sand. So 2 1/4 to 1 bucket of cement. That's my ratio, 2 1/4 to 1. But it changes depending on what I'm doing, whether it be from bricklaying to tuck pointing. Anything could change. Sand wise too, there's multiple different sands that we use in Chicago. So they have a tuck pointing sand, which is a bank sand. If you ever go to the beach, you have that really soft sand, you know, right at the bank of the beach. We use that for tuck pointing mixed in with this. So we do a lot of different stuff. And like I told you before on the phone, is that when we're doing some of this old historical stuff, a lot of it is aged. It has a lot of dirt on the wall after time, you know, water and rain being washed through. So there's a couple tricks out there. I was told actually by Pyramid, Rick at Pyramid, you're probably going to get mad at me for getting out this information. You told me not to, but here I am doing it. But I've seen a couple other masons do this. You grab dirt from the ground, drill it in a bucket with some water, so it mixes real well. So you have a kind of like a dirty water. After that, then you'll put it through a screen, and then you'll use that to put in your mortar to make it a little bit more aged. So when it does dry, there's some dirt in there.
It's not bright white. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're gonna give it a little bit of age. So
nice. You were talking about cement earlier.
Yeah.
Something. I think you were talking about color.
Yeah.
But was it more than that? Like, how do you know what cement? There's all kinds of different stuff when you go.
Exactly. And that's the fun of restoration, is that you don't really know what's going on. So another thing that I was telling you, Chris, before I came here, if you really want to go crazy with it, by us, there's a place to where you can actually send in your mortar sample, and like within a day or two, they can come back and give you the actual mix of that sample.
Oh, so it's just like doing paint.
They can't do that. Yeah, they can't do that. It's a little expensive. It comes out to be like $60 per bucket of mortar mix. But most of the time, we'll just give it a visual look. Now, some parts, like this part right here, is a little bit more grayer. So I would probably want to do the type of masonry cement like I have, and like I was telling you, you're not going to be able to find these materials that I'm bringing here today
down here in Central Illinois.
So, but the type of masonry cement, that's kind of more universal. You can definitely find it at a Home Depot. It's going to be a little bit different, the consistency. I bought it before, but I set you up here with 8 bags, so you got a little bit of cement to play with.
You can see.
This is actually what you were talking about earlier, where instead of putting concrete seals in, putting brick in, right?
Correct. Yeah, and this is definitely gonna. This is called actually a roll lock course. This roll lock course is at a little bit of an angle pitch for the water to go off. But now, yes, you do have to be a little bit skilled, making sure that your joints are being the same width on each one. Because otherwise, yeah, if you're going, you can easily go crooked and go sideways the whole way and just try to catch yourself. So I've definitely done it before. It takes time to learn it.
I think I'm gonna sadly, I think I'm gonna go with the concrete. Just pour the concrete blocks and put them in.
For sure.
Maybe, with the exception of these guys here, because this is all damaged, so I guess it'll have to be repaired. So, and I won't be able to find bricks that dark, will I?
No.
So So they'll have to all come out.
Right.
And I think the idea is to just do glass block in all of these anyway.
Okay.
So it may be that knock these out. That'll give a flat surface to put the glass block on, and then just figure out some kind of angled thing afterwards.
So do you plan on putting glass block, the ones that we saw over there?
Yeah.
On all of these windows here?
Yeah, all these front ones.
That's a lot of glass block.
Well, there's a reason, because they have the air pocket in the middle,
right.
And so if there's music in there, it's good sound insulation.
Yep.
And also these look horrible, and I don't want to put modern stuff in.
Yeah.
So, and
you might need some frames for some of the other places too.
And I can use these frames elsewhere in the building.
Right, and some of the panes that aren't cracked.
Yeah, that's right. And then what was I was going to say? On Facebook Marketplace, glass block is like either $10 to $20 per block, or it's 25 cents per block. Yeah. So if you like just watch it, and they get 200 of them for, a couple $100, and then that's the way to do it.
Yep.
But you just got to be ready to jump on it.
Yep.
Dude, you came loaded for bear.
Yeah, I came ready, man. I really did.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're starting to see lots of volunteers around. That's pretty awesome, yeah? So we removed this panel because the brick dust is going to be pretty intense, and we needed some ventilation. So that's actually a pretty window frame. It's sad that it's got to go, but maybe we can use it somewhere else in the building. It's amazing to me what these lentils can do, because it looks like you got, 3 stories of brick, and the only thing holding it is that steel lintel across there. Yeah.
Yeah, and normally too, I did bring some flashing with me. It's a sticky flashing, because I thought we were going to be doing this on the outside. But since it's inside, there's going to be no water. So we're not going to put any flashing. Normally you put flashing in weep vents. I brought all that stuff, but since it's going to be inside, there's going to be no water coming in. So we don't need to do anything like that.
Just set it in, that's
exactly,
it. Yeah,
yep.
That's nice, yeah.
So.
Like many people, I have a love-hate relationship with Harbor Freight, because it gets me out of a pinch so often. But it's not the highest quality, and I know it's going to make lots of comments in the comment section. It is a love-hate relationship, so let me know what you guys think about Harbor Freight. This is so awesome, because I just walked in the building, and for the first time, we've got so much volunteer stuff going on here. I walk in and there's just activity buzzing. There's windows being replaced. We're setting up scaffolding. There's about 8 or 9 volunteers moving and shaking, and kind of buzzing a little bit. It's the hair on the back of my neck is standing up that so much progress is happening.
I'm just going to do 3 in the back, just because I'm going to be able to stand on the ground here. I'm going to get my level and my tape measure, and then we'll start marking out this opening, and then we'll cut and go from there.
Hey, I remember on your channel, did you say it was your dad or your grandpa that you worked with? Your grandpa.
Yeah.
So we have a lot in common, because I have fond memories of my grandpa.
I know you. I was watching that. Yeah. So ever since I was younger, maybe ever since I can remember, 5, 6 years old, I remember my older brother going out with my grandpa, working with him, doing minor repairs and whatnot. And probably at the very least, something 6, 7 years old, I would go out with him, my grandpa. Here and there, he would throw me $5, $10 just to hold the ladder for him, So I would be there downstairs holding the ladder in the freezing cold sometimes. Otherwise, mixing mortar. He would show me how to mix mortar. Just the little baby steps of doing this. And then as I got older, maybe when I was 14, I was working every day during the summer with them. And then I did that all the way up to 16. Then I worked for a different company, getting into bigger stuff, when I was 16 and 17. After that, got in 18, I was kind of half in, working for a company and half working for myself, doing jobs on the side. And then 19 is when I first got off my own, and I'm 25 now. And it's been great. Without this skill, I don't know where I'd be at right now.
The amazing thing is, you're probably the very last generation that got that, right? From a grandparent or somebody that.
Oh, it's awesome. It really is.
Like, because today kids are not getting that, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And I try to do my best. And like a lot of people will get mad at me because I try to help people way too much. And try to teach them something, which some people will take it and some people won't.
Some people know better,
and
yeah.
Sometimes I gotta know when to let go, but
Yeah.
I feel that it's my duty sometimes to teach people something because I was, thank God, blessed with someone teaching me a trade because like I say, these days I don't know how some of these people raise a family living off 2 regular jobs. I just really don't.
Yeah.
Even with the money that I make, you know, from doing what I do, sometimes it's still a little bit stressful. It really is. But hopefully I can teach other people and whatnot. But it's crazy because a lot of my other brothers, we all did it. All of them, even my mom. My mom and her sisters did it too. The whole family worked for my grandpa.
Yeah.
So
that's Chicago, right? There's a lot of Polish people there that also do construction company.
A whole bunch of Polish people.
Yeah.
Polish, Irish, and they're all fresh off the boat.
Yeah.
They don't speak a lick of English, but they can lay some brick.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Recently, last time I was there, it looked pretty much the same.
So when doing any other kind of cuts with the saw, or we're doing like an opening, first what I like to do is grab a 7-inch blade on a grinder and then prime the cut, because if you go with that, then you can easily get out of whack with the cut. So we'll go ahead and prime this, and then when I do so, when we put the saw on, it'll smoothly just guide itself
Like a trap.
in there, right? Basically, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make those cuts, and then we'll put that in there and see how deep that one
So
goes.
this isn't his. He's got his own gas powered one. But we bought this and we just wanted to test it and see.
I think it's a 12-inch blade. Mine is 14. So it goes a little bit deeper, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's just an Amazon
Go from
special.
there.
So
I did see him on there. Yeah.
we just needed a dedicated line because we just had a really long extension and it wasn't enough power. So he's gonna bring the gas powered one in.
And then they got these heather brick too. These are the brick that tie in both walls together. So they're brick going this way.
Oh yeah, they're
Instead of horizontal.
perpendicular, yeah.
Right. We just punch a hole through, see where I'm at through that hole, And then I can gauge where my joint is, cut along that, and then I'll go 4 inches from that point up.
Cool. Just kick it.
Yeah, as hard as you can.
Hope it doesn't fall back on me.
Go ahead.
1. Kung Fu.
Come on, like Jake did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A spin. Come on, man. You're spin.
He left like this much connected to make me a fool. That's
You got to do a flying spinning kick.
Might take a couple.
Here, Chris.
Watch those ones on the top too. They're gonna come down on you.
okay.
Almost there.
Another side
It'll probably help you if you take those top ones out.
He's up
Maybe.
there.
Oh no, it's coming. It's going.
It's going.
Yep.
Just kick the other side, the other side.
These verticals.
No, that left side.
Oh man, I
Tilt that top over, get it out of the way. I think that's binding you. Can you like just push with your hand and see if it'll break loose?
It probably will. There you go.
Grab that brick and smack it.
Here, I got a knife right here.
Now give it a kick.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a lot of work, huh? Depending on how much you're gonna make right now, I don't really know how much we're gonna do today. So since we're doing a lintel, most likely we'll just need like a little bit, but we're gonna make a little extra because most likely we're gonna do other stuff. So anytime, like I say, the ratio, we'll always keep it the same. So that's gonna be a full bucket of sand. So for 1 full bucket of sand, I'll do a little bit less than half a bucket of cement.
Okay.
And then we'll mix it dry. So now if we're doing a little bit of bigger of a batch, we'll do 2 buckets, 2 and a quarter of masonry sand to 1 bucket of cement. But like I say, different stuff, different materials, different sands, different cements can be used. But most of the time, this is what it's gonna be: type N masonry cement and the masonry sand. So I'll go ahead and fill this up well.
So, and you said half a bucket of the cement to a bucket of the sand, right? Did I say that wrong?
No, so 1 full bucket of sand to a little bit less than half
A little bit less than
cement.
that.
Yeah. So that's how it should look like that. Spread it evenly in there. That's done. Then get yourself a hoe. And then just kind of play with it, try to get all the sand from the bottom to mix with that. And then you just keep going back and forth, pulling it. And then catch yourself on a pickle
Yeah.
As far as trying to, because you can't just really add sand or cement. You have to mix the two together dry, then add it in there.
Okay.
But we'll add a little bit at a time. Sometimes you can get in a bad spot if your sand is wet from a rain.
Oh yeah.
So then you're barely adding any water at all.
Can you do some auctioneer sounds?
Oh yeah, you got to. Now, would you give me $5 bid? How about 7.5? And put it down to five.
That's perfect.
Would you give me 10? I got 7.5 now 10. Would you give me $10 bid? I'm gonna put it down now 10. Would you give me 10? I got 7.5. Now I got 10. Now 12.5.
We're just saying Jake is studying to get his auctioneer's license now, so he can help us get rid of all the stuff in the building. So
Yep, we're gonna try.
you kind of look like an auctioneer. You put a cowboy hat and that handlebar mustache.
Yeah, I gotta get add the redneck a little more.
So yeah, this is, you may want a little drier depending on how it's working out for you. I could pretty much work with anything, but you may want it a little bit more drier for you. But with these,
Because it doesn't get wily and out of control on you for a newbie.
on a tool. So on a tool, it'll easily slip off your tool if you're not really skilled. But this is good for this kind of brick, because this kind of brick will soak up a lot of water through the mortar. So it'll actually work out perfectly.
Okay.
So I like to play with it sometimes. This is how I first started. I would just, play with it, make cakes, stuff like that. But yeah, we'll throw the angle irons in right now.
Okay.
And if you want to feel it.
Oh yeah.
Have it about a little bit more soupier, because it's more easier to glide and slide your tool.
Get it in there, yeah.
So if it's a little drier, then what the problem is you're gonna be hurting your wrist, pushing the mortar in there and forcing it. Instead, it just glides right in there. So.
Have you seen those things where they use a drill and it just pumps it in? Is that like?
Yeah, no. Don't ever come around me with that.
Is that just a gimmick? Is it like a gimmick and you wasted your
That's
money?
for people, yeah. Now, if you want to do it and you're shopping on Amazon, you've run across something like that.
Yeah.
But no, don't ever come to my job site with that.
So I should take that off my Amazon wish list.
Please do. Because if I see that, I will unsubscribe right now. Seriously. No,
Okay.
I've seen someone use that once, and the problem with that is that you'll get like little pebbles in there from the sand, because the sand that we get is not perfect. You'll get little pebbles in there, and then you run into an issue. Same thing when you're tuck pointing as well. When you're tuck pointing, depending on how deep you're grinding, say if we were just to tuck point over this right now, there's going to be little pebbles in there that when you go to tuck point that they're going to stick out. Especially when you go to brush, they'll come out and you can see the indentation of it. So now I do know other people that go crazy with it, and they'll screen all of their sand, and it comes out beautiful when you do that. But that's just another thing to do on your own free time at home, in the garage.
Yeah.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like 15, so 30 total.
30 clean bricks. Okay.
Yep.
Should we start with the ones that are here and just see if there's
Exactly.
any?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the way here. Take this, and then you could
Clean them off.
Clean them off with that.
Oh, I actually have to do something now. Is that for setting the line up?
Yeah. So those will go in, and what you want to do is angle them. It'll be easier if you drill a little hole first to prime it.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll angle them so it's at the top of the brick on each side, just like that. So we're gonna see we're at that line,
Yeah.
and then pull it tight. Just wrap it around a few times.
And you just follow the line with the bricks, right?
Correct, yeah. And then do like something like that. And then that's tight. And then most of the time with lintels, sometimes they're thick enough. In this case, we probably have to do a little bit of mortar on the bottom. But most of the time, you just set the brick right on top of here. But we'll take a look at it once it's on here. But let's put some brick up here. We'll start playing around with this. Another thing too, if you're gonna have a mortar board like this, if you're laying some kind of brick, the wood's gonna suck up all the water. So I didn't want to make it too dry, because then we'd have to keep tampering this in order to make it perfect.
Right.
But this is perfect, exactly how it is right now. This is perfect. perfect bricklaying consistency.
Okay.
For tuck pointing, definitely a little bit more soupier. Otherwise, you're gonna kill your wrist.
All right.
So let's get some brick up on here. 15 on this
You want me
side.
to bring the bricks in?
Yep, let's do it.
How many should I bring? 15?
1,000. I need you to bring 1,000. Sorry.
I'll just drop the volume for like 1 split second. Okay.
So first things first, when I'm doing lentils, the first thing I like to do is just do a dry stack just to see where my bond's gonna be at, to make sure my bond's gonna match what's existing around. Now, the reason I'm doing this too is because I'm not quite too sure. Normally, if there was a full brick and then I put another full brick, I would know that. But we have a header here, so we're gonna see how it plays out. And then also putting the next course on top, we wanna make sure that that works out pretty good. But obviously right here, the bond's messed up, and right here we can tell we have a half bond. So what I would need to do is push all these brick up like that. And then I would put a little piece right here and then keep moving forward. And then I'd have to also put another little piece right here. Because those are be our headers basically. Because this course has headers, this is a header course. So every other brick or so, there'll be a header brick. So we'll put one right
By
here.
header, you mean it's
Going like this.
perpendicular. Yeah.
Exactly, like
Okay.
that.
And that ties the wall together, right?
Right, but in this case, obviously, it's not gonna be tying anything, because we have the lintels here. in
It's
place.
just making it match up.
Exactly. So if in the case that this was outside, like I say, we put flashing over the steel, which is kind of like a sticky membrane, just to allow the water to slide off of and and protect the steel from rusting, because that's how they start failing when they start rusting.
But it's indoors, so.
Right. And then we'll also put wheat vents too, which is like little pieces of rope that'll come out on here, probably in the middle, and then on that side to let the wall breathe.
So do you come through and backfill with the?
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. We'll just set them in first, and then come back and fill in the joints. And this is a concave rounder joint too, so there's a different tool in order to make it rounded like that. And that's pretty satisfying too to watch it.
What's your dry time on your mortar like, or how long do you have to work with it?
Depending on temperatures outside and what brick you're using, it could take probably a few hours, 3 hours, something like that.
A little longer than I expected.
So, Alex, if somebody's in the Chicago area and they want brickwork done, how do they get a hold of you?
You can contact Focal Point Masonry right here on my shirt. If you look that up on Google, you can contact us through there and get a quote, and maybe we can do some work for you, you know. Okay. We pretty much go anywhere, Chicago, Chicagoland suburbs, you know, wherever the work is, I'm going over there, so. Depending on what it is. I'll even go to Wisconsin, you know, so I don't care.
Nice.
I'm all the way out here driving 3.5 hours to come over here. But these guys too, they're from the channel?
Jake, I went to high school with, and those are his boys. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but they're awesome because when they come, they do like the work of 2 or 3 people each, right? So.
Right. And they're coming every weekend?
They got a 15-year-old daughter named Mimi who is incredible. She
comes here too?
Yeah, she comes and works.
That's
just
cool.
like a super hardworking family. And
That's cool.
the very last one you got to get in is the hardest, right?
Yeah, but it's the most satisfying
Yeah.
to get that last one in.
Well, you're a miracle worker.
We're all
oh
done,
my gosh.
yeah. And to be honest, yesterday I was thinking, I'm like, man, you know, I don't think I can get this done in a day. It's gonna be kind of tough. And the only reason I say so is because I thought maybe we're gonna have to tooth this out and do all the other kind of dressing up with it. But We got it done. It's only about 3 o'clock. We're doing pretty good.
Awesome.
So we can move on to some other stuff possibly, and then tomorrow for a little bit, show you a little bit more, so that when I do leave, that you have a little bit of knowledge, and we got a whole bunch of materials here for you
Okay.
to play around with. So
Awesome.
you'll get a good idea of it.
Let me get a shot from the other side there.
Yep. And also too, for all you other old timers out there that I already know you guys are gonna give me some grief about different stuff, and I should have done this or I should have done that. Just let me know. Just put it in the comments and let me know. I'm all ears to it. You know, everybody started at some point in place, and here I am doing what I've been taught. If I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. I'm always willing to learn. You know, I'm only 25 years old. I don't really know everything. Maybe if I was a little bit older, like Chris here, not that you're an old man, but you know, then you can rip on me a little bit. But cut me a little bit of slack. Teach me a few things. I don't, you know, I'm always all ears, like they say. So
To me, it's a rock star job. So
yeah, I'm trying.